Barney Ross and his elite mercenary team faced their greatest threat yet. Conrad Stonebanks, a ruthless arms dealer and co-founder of the Expendables. Long thought dead, when Stonebanks severely injures one of their own, Barney disbands the old crew, seeking out a new, younger generation of tech-savvy fighters. This decision sparks a thrilling generational clash, forcing both teams to unite for a final explosive confrontation to save their captured comrades and stop Stonebanks' global reign of terror.
Well, sir.
I believe this. Oh, God. I've been thinking about...
Come on. Where did you look? Drummer! In 5.
Got it.
Better! Gotta go.
Maybe more money.
Hey, Barney. How about the egg, huh? Egg. Gotta go, Cap! No! Barney! I know! Pull me up! You gonna fuck? I'm gonna kill you! Rip it, we're coming in hot. Hold on.
Nothing, run up.
Oh! There's money over there! I forget it! Stop, go.
I'll show you. Stonebanks.
Set.
I pay you.
We're on. I like little mice. Try again.
Go, go, go!
Nice job.
Go on, do it! What's that?
Go!
But I'm relieved that someone can pick 90 seconds to get out of there. You got...
Maybe not.
9% battery power, you didn't charge it?
Well, I used it to check the weather.
Will you just shut... Come on, come on!
Come on, Thon.
I'll take it back.
Oh, he's jammed.
Send him in. We lose override. That gives us about 20...
Still got trouble.
What?
Big. And you're right!
Hey! Let's go!
Look out for the chopper! Oh, shit.
Closer.
Nothing. Lee, climb!
Ting-a-ling, ting.
I believe this.
God.
I've been thinking of...
Ready to go! Drummer!
In 5. Got it.
Better!
Gotta go.
Maybe more money.
Hey, Barney. How about the egg, huh?
Gotta go, Cap.
Pull me up! You gonna fuck? I'm gonna kill you!
Hey guys, today we dive headfirst into the explosive world of the Expendables 3, a movie that truly understands the phrase, more is more, when it comes to action heroes. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Our story kicks off, as all good action movies should, with an incredibly loud, intensely dramatic prison break from a maximum security military prison. It's the kind of place where even the walls probably have six-packs. The setup is simple. A massive, armored train barrels down the tracks, carrying a special prisoner. Inside, a familiar crew is already at work. We hear the familiar grunts and groans of muscle straining against metal as Barney Ross, played with the usual gruff charm by Sylvester Stallone, along with Lee Christmas, the perpetually knife-throwing Jason Statham, and Gunnar Jensen. Dolph Lundgren, looking perpetually surprised and dangerous, are systematically dismantling the train from the inside out. There's a distinct metallic groan as a section of the train gives way. The air is thick with the smell of diesel and the scent of imminent destruction. Their objective? Doc, a long-lost expendable played by the legendary Wesley Snipes, who's been locked up for, well, let's just say tax evasion with extreme prejudice. The prison guards are, naturally, entirely unprepared for this kind of extraction. Gunfire rips through the carriages, followed by the satisfying thud of bodies hitting the floor. Christmas, in a blur of motion, sends a knife whistling through the air, embedding itself with a sickening thwack into a guard's chest. Barney, with that signature grimace, just mows down anyone foolish enough to get in his way. The whole sequence is a ballet of bullets and brutal efficiency. Finally, they reach Document. He's a bit rusty, having been incarcerated for 8 years, but the man still got moves. As they free him, he immediately demonstrates his knife skills, deflecting a guard's attack with a casual flick of the wrist. It's like watching an old action figure get new batteries. The train, meanwhile, is becoming less a mode of transport and more a collection of shrapnel. They make their escape in spectacular fashion, leaping from the speeding train onto a waiting helicopter, leaving a trail of fire and chaos behind them. This is the Expendables way. Leave no building unexploded, no transport untotaled. Their mission, however, isn't just a friendly jailbreak. Doc reveals that he knows about a shipment of weapon-grade plutonium heading to a notorious arms dealer in Somalia. This, of course, means another mission. The team, now including Hail Caesar, the ever-reliable Terry Crews, and Toll Road, Randy Couture, head off to stop this dangerous delivery. The setting shifts to a bustling, chaotic port, filled with the shouts of dock workers and the clang of metal on metal. The air is humid and dusty. The plan is to infiltrate the compound where the exchange is happening. The sun glints off the corrugated iron roofs and the sweat on Caesar's brow. The op starts relatively smoothly. A typical Expendables stealth mission, which is to say, it becomes loud and explosive very quickly. Gunner, always one for subtlety, probably trips over something loud. There's a barrage of automatic rifle fire, followed by the satisfying boom of an explosion as one of Gunner's grenades finds its mark. The team systematically eliminates the foot soldiers, moving with practiced ease. Barney, ever the leader, takes point, his voice a low growl over the comms. Caesar uses his heavy weaponry to devastating effect. The rhythmic thump-thump-thump of his automatic shotgun clearing paths as they breach the main building. They finally come face-to-face with the arms dealer. But this isn't just any villain. It's Conrad Stonebanks, played by a deliciously menacing Mel Gibson. The reveal hits Barney like a punch to the gut. Stonebanks isn't just a rival. He's a co-founder of the Expendables, a man Barney thought he killed years ago. The air crackles with unspoken history and betrayal. Stonebanks, with a chilling smile, taunts Barney, his voice smooth but laced with venom. He's not just a bad guy. He's their bad guy. The ensuing firefight is brutal. Stonebanks' men are well-equipped and professional. The sound of high-caliber rounds ricocheting off metal is deafening. Amidst the chaos, Stonebanks targets Caesar, unloading a full clip into him. The sudden thud of Caesar's body hitting the ground is sickening. Barney, enraged, tries to get to Stonebanks, but the villain makes a clean escape in a helicopter, leaving Barney to choose between revenge and saving his friend. He chooses Caesar, cradling his bleeding comrade, the helicopter's rotors fading into the distance, a mocking whir. The scene is heavy with the smell of gunpowder and the metallic tang of blood. Back in the US, Caesar is in critical condition, hooked up to a symphony of beeping machines in a hospital. The mood among the team is somber, unusually quiet save for the soft beeps and the occasional murmur of doctors. The sight of their strong, jovial friend lying vulnerable hits them hard. Barney is visibly shaken, his face etched with worry and guilt. He blames himself for Caesar's injury, for not finishing Stonebanks off all those years ago. This isn't just a job. It's personal, and it clearly weighs on him more than a stack of barbells. Barney makes a drastic decision. He tells the old team that they're done. He declares them too old, too slow, too vulnerable. The words hang heavy in the air, met with a mix of disbelief and hurt. Christmas, with a tight jaw, argues fiercely, but Barney is unyielding. He says he can't risk their lives anymore. It's a classic action movie trope, the hero pushing away his loved ones for their own good, which, let's be honest, usually means they'll just show up later to save him anyway. The tension in the room is palpable, thick like an unsliced fruitcake. His new mission: find a younger, faster, and crucially, expendable team. He seeks out an old friend, Bonaparte, played by Kelsey Grammer, who acts as a kind of mercenary headhunter. Bonaparte has a knack for finding specialized talent, the kind of people who list proficient in urban warfare and parkour on their resumes. The scene where Barney interviews these potential new recruits is a delightful blend of the old guard meeting the new. Barney, with his weathered face and pragmatic questions, meets a parade of 20-somethings who are all about tech, speed, and probably listening to podcasts during missions. First up is Luna, played by Ronda Rousey. She's a bouncer with a mean right hook and an even meaner attitude. Barney observes her effortlessly dispatching several patrons in a bar brawl, the sharp crack of bone on bone echoing through the smoky room. Then there's Smiley, a former Marine sniper, played by Kellen Lutz, who demonstrates his incredible marksmanship with almost casual precision, the distant ping of targets being hit. Thorne, a tech whiz and hacker, played by Glenn Powell, shows off his drone piloting skills, making the device buzz and weave like an angry insect. And finally, Mars, a hulking special forces operative, played by Victor Ortiz, who is less talk and more, well, smash. It's like an Avengers recruitment drive, but with more tactical vests and fewer capes. Barney, with a skeptical look, eyes their youthful confidence, probably thinking about how much easier it was when you just needed a big gun and a good aim. With his new team assembled, Barney takes on a mission assigned by CIA operative Drummer, played by Harrison Ford, whose arrival is a welcome addition to the cast of legends. Drummer tasks Barney with intercepting Stonebanks in Romania, where he's planning a massive arms deal. This is the new team's baptism by fire, and Barney warns them, in his gravelly voice, that this isn't a game. The young recruits, full of swagger, assure him they're ready. They pile into a sleek, fast vehicle, the engine humming powerfully, a stark contrast to the old team's more rugged, battle-scarred transports. The air of nervous excitement is almost visible. The mission begins with high-tech surveillance and precision insertion. Thorne uses his drones to scout the building, the faint whirring sound of the miniature aircraft barely audible. Luna moves with a fluid grace, scaling walls. Smiley provides cover fire, the sharp crack of his sniper rifle cutting through the night. Mars breaches the door with a satisfying thump. The young team is impressive, moving with speed and coordination, their modern tactics a stark contrast to the old team's brute force approach. They navigate the building silently, their boots barely scuffing the floor. But Stonebanks is a step ahead. He anticipated Barney's move. As the new team approaches the target, alarms blare, sirens wail, and the building erupts in gunfire. It's a massive ambush. The young team, despite their skills, are overwhelmed by the sheer numbers and Stonebanks' ruthless efficiency. The sound of automatic weapons fire is continuous, deafening. Explosions rock the building, sending debris raining down. Luna fights with furious intensity, the smack of her fists connecting with enemy faces echoing through the halls. Smiley desperately tries to provide cover, but they're outmatched. Barney, watching from a distance, sees his worst fears realized. He screams into his comms for them to retreat, his voice raw with desperation in a desperate bid to save his new recruits. Barney sacrifices himself, creating a diversion. He draws Stonebanks' fire, allowing the younger members a chance to escape. But Stonebanks, ever the cunning villain, manages to capture the entire young team. The last thing Barney sees as he makes his own narrow escape is the new recruits being rounded up, their faces grim. The helicopter blades beat a steady rhythm as Stonebanks' forces extract their prisoners, leaving Barney alone and defeated. The mission is a catastrophic failure. The taste of ash and defeat fills Barney's mouth. Barney returns to base, utterly broken. His decision to replace his old friends has backfired spectacularly. Now he's lost his new team, too, and Stonebanks is still out there, gloating. He sits alone, staring at the wall, the silence of the room heavier than any explosion. The weight of his choices presses down on him. This is truly Barney's lowest point, the kind of emotional gut punch that makes even the most stoic action hero question everything. It's like when you try a new recipe and it sets the kitchen on fire. You just want to go back to what you know. In his despair, Barney reaches out to Drummer. He admits his mistake, his voice barely above a whisper. Drummer, ever the pragmatist, advises him to go back to what works. And what works in the Expendables universe is usually a whole lot of old-school, unapologetic violence. So, Barney does what any sensible action hero would do. He starts making phone calls. The sound of an old rotary phone spinning might even have been used, just for effect. The old guard starts assembling, one by one. First, there's the ever-sarcastic trench mauser, Arnold Schwarzenegger, arriving with his signature grin and an even bigger gun. Then comes Ian Young, Jet Li, with his quiet intensity and lightning-fast martial arts. Even Galgo, Antonio Banderas, a perpetually enthusiastic and overly talkative mercenary who was rejected from the new team, shows up, eager to prove his worth. He chatters incessantly, his voice a rapid-fire stream of consciousness, a stark contrast to the grim silence of the others. It's a wonderful reunion, a gathering of the action movie gods. The familiar banter quickly picks up, cutting through the tension. This time, the mission is clear. Rescue the young team from Stonebanks' fortified compound in Albania. It's a full-on assault, no fancy tech, just pure, unadulterated firepower and decades of experience. The plan is simple, or as simple as it gets for the Expendables. Hit them hard, hit them fast, and don't stop until Stonebanks is dealt with. The air is charged with anticipation, a mix of grim determination and the thrill of the impending battle. The scent of gun oil and stale cigar smoke fills the briefing room. As they prepare, there's a fantastic scene where the old team meets the new team, virtually. Thorne, the tech whiz, has been tracking them. The young recruits are being held in a derelict, heavily guarded building in Albania. The contrast between the jaded wisdom of the older crew and the nervous energy of the younger ones is clear. Barney, looking at the faces of the young people he inadvertently put in harm's way, feels the weight of responsibility. He knows this isn't just about Stonebanks anymore. It's about redemption. The rescue mission begins. The combined force of the old and new Expendables moves towards the compound. The older guys, with their heavy weaponry and tactical nous, provide the brute force. The younger ones, with their agility and tech skills, are the scalpel. It's a beautiful synergy. Galgo, in particular, is a whirlwind of chaotic energy, his Spanish accent making even mundane observations sound like a dramatic monologue. He weaves through enemy fire, his pistols barking, his movements incredibly quick. Inside the compound, the young team, still captive, manages to free themselves. Luna takes down several guards with a series of quick, brutal moves, the soft thud of her kicks. Smiley, once free, immediately finds a vantage point and provides sniper support, the precise crack of his rifle picking off targets from a distance. Thorne hacks into Stonebanks' security system, turning turrets and cameras against their own forces, the distant whir of the machinery shifting. Mars, a human battering ram, clears paths with raw strength. The fight is on. It's an all-out war, a spectacular display of coordinated chaos. The ground shakes with the force of explosions. The air is thick with smoke and the smell of burnt cordite. Helicopters buzz overhead, their rotor blades chopping through the air. The combined Expendables team is a force of nature. Christmas carves through enemies with his knives, a blur of motion. Gunner, predictably, blows things up with gleeful abandon, the boom echoing for miles. Toll Road and Doc work together, a seamless partnership of brawn and surgical precision. A major set piece involves a collapsing building. The young team, particularly Thorne, is crucial in navigating the crumbling structure, using their agility and tech to find escape routes while the older team lays down covering fire. The metallic shriek of twisting girders and the roar of falling concrete create a truly immersive sense of danger. It's a reminder that even seasoned pros can benefit from a fresh perspective, especially when facing structural integrity issues. Imagine trying to explain building codes to Gunner mid-firefight. Barney, meanwhile, is on a direct collision course with Stonebanks. Their paths intertwine amidst the explosions and flying debris. The final confrontation is exactly what you'd expect. Two titans of action cinema, one driven by revenge and justice, the other by pure, unadulterated evil. Stonebanks is a formidable opponent, not just physically, but psychologically, constantly taunting Barney, dredging up old wounds. Their blows land with bone-jarring force, the oof of impact echoing in the increasingly quiet immediate vicinity. The fight culminates on the roof of the collapsing building. The ground below them is a maelstrom of fire and debris. Stonebanks, with a maniacal grin, believes he has the upper hand, but Barney, fueled by the memory of Caesar's injury and the capture of his new team, finds a new surge of strength. He delivers a brutal beatdown, each punch a release of years of pent-up anger and betrayal. The final blow is delivered with a grim satisfaction, Stonebanks' body slumping to the ground as the building continues its descent. It's an incredibly satisfying moment, the kind that makes you want to cheer and maybe even throw a few imaginary punches of your own. With Stonebanks defeated and the building collapsing around them, the remaining Expendables must make a daring escape. Drummer and Trench arrive in helicopters, creating a dramatic rescue operation. The team leaps from the crumbling structure, grabbing onto ropes and ladders, just as the entire building implodes in a spectacular inferno. It's a truly epic visual, leaving a massive plume of smoke and dust in its wake. The whoosh of the choppers pulling away from the destructive force is a clear signal of their victory. In the aftermath, the team regroups. Caesar, miraculously, makes a full recovery, much to everyone's relief. The sight of him laughing and joking with the others, albeit with a slight limp, brings a genuine warmth to the scene. The old and new teams have fully integrated, a stronger, more diverse unit than ever before. The younger members have proven their mettle in combat, earning the respect of their elders. The older members, in turn, have shown the young guns the value of experience and the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood. It's a beautiful moment of generational acceptance, proving that sometimes the best way forward is to combine the wisdom of the past with the innovation of the present. Plus, it's always good when the good guys win, and the bad guy gets what's coming to him. In the most spectacular way possible, the movie ends with the combined team relaxing and enjoying a drink, a celebratory mood hanging heavy in the air. The sounds of clinking glasses and easy laughter fill the bar. Even Galgo, for once, is quiet, simply enjoying the camaraderie. Barney, looking around at his extended family, both old and new, finally has a genuine smile on his face. He's learned a valuable lesson about loyalty and the strength found in diversity. The future of the Expendables is secure, ready for whatever new threats might emerge. And honestly, Isn't that just the best way to wrap up a film where so many things blew up? It's not just about the explosions, folks. It's about the friends you blow things up with. As the credits begin to roll, you're left with a sense of completion. The journey has been tumultuous, filled with betrayal, doubt, and a whole lot of gratuitous violence. But ultimately, it's a testament to the enduring power of teamwork and the idea that sometimes the most effective weapon is a well-placed joke. The Expendables franchise, in its own over-the-top way, always brings a certain satisfaction, a nostalgic trip back to a time when heroes were gruff, villains were obvious, and problems were solved with bullets and biceps. It reminds us that even seasoned warriors can grow, adapt, and learn from those who follow, while still holding true to the core values that define them. It's a powerful narrative about finding strength in unity and embracing change, all while blowing up a truly impressive amount of stuff. The Expendables 3, despite some initial concerns about its toned-down rating, delivers on the franchise's promise of star-studded, explosive action. It's a love letter to classic action films, blending the wisdom of cinematic legends with the energy of a new generation. It truly showcases a sprawling ensemble cast, giving each actor a moment to shine in the chaotic symphony of violence. We are diving headfirst into the explosive world of the Expendables 3, where the muscle is as abundant as the explosions, and the one-liners are sharper than a freshly honed blade. We're going to walk through every bone-crunching, bullet-riddled moment, getting right into the thick of it from the very start. Get ready for some serious action as we recap this symphony of firepower and old-school grit, mixed with a dash of new-school tech. I put a lot of work into these, so if you like what you see, a like and a subscribe is always appreciated. No worries if not. Our journey into the land of flying lead and impossible odds kicks off with a roar. Literally, as a massive military transport helicopter thrums through the air, delivering Barney Ross, Lee Christmas, Gunnar Jensen, Toll Road, and Caesar to a snow-dusted Eastern European industrial complex. Their target isn't some high-tech weapon or a briefcase full of diamonds. No, these guys are here for a person, and not just any person. They're after Dr. Death, or Doc, a legendary knife wielder who's been locked away in a high-security black site prison for what feels like eons. The prison isn't a building, though. It's a heavily armored train, a monstrous iron beast rumbling across desolate tracks. Guarded by an army of stone-faced commandos, the helicopter swoops in, its rotors churning up a violent snowstorm. As Barney, ever the pragmatist, prepares for the inevitable chaos, they rappel down onto the train's roof, the metallic clang of their boots against the steel a prelude to the pandemonium about to erupt. Gunnar, with his trusty M249 saw, sets up a firing position, his wild laughter echoing even over the train's thunderous passage. Christmas, nimble and quick, positions himself near a cargo door, his knives glinting even in the dim, pre-dawn light. Toll Road and Caesar take strategic points, their expressions grim and focused. Barney, the seasoned leader, gives the signal. Explosives detonate with a deafening crump, tearing a hole in the roof of a cargo carriage. Inside, it's a hive of heavily armed guards, their faces masked, their weapons at the ready. Bullets immediately start zipping through the air, a deadly chorus of whizzes and ricochets. Gunnar unleashes a torrent of fire, the saw spitting brass and lead, cutting down several guards who dared to stand in his line of sight. It's a ballet of destruction, punctuated by the sharp crack of rifle fire and the deeper thud of impacts as the team clears the initial resistance. They move deeper into the train, a labyrinth of metal corridors and armed sentries. Christmas, a blur of motion, disarms and neutralizes opponents with shocking efficiency, his signature throwing knives finding their marks with sickening thuds. Toll Road, a tank of a man, uses brute force, slamming doors open and sending guards sprawling with powerful fists. Caesar, with his custom AA-12 shotgun, delivers devastating bursts of buckshot, turning enemy combatants into ragdolls. The confined space of the train amplifies every sound. The shouts, the grunts, the metallic ping of spent cartridges. They finally reach Doc's cell, a heavily reinforced compartment. Barney, with a mischievous grin, detonates another charge, blowing the door clear off its hinges with a tremendous boom. Inside, Doc, played by Wesley Snipes, is chained, his expression a mix of boredom and anticipation. He's been waiting for this. After a brief, sarcastic exchange with Barney about being fashionably late, Doc unleashes himself from his restraints with surprising ease, immediately grabbing a discarded knife. The man is a whirlwind, moving with a fluid, deadly grace, dispatching the remaining guards with surgical precision, each strike a swift, silent shick followed by a heavy thud. It's almost artistic if you're into hyper-violent combat. With Doc free, the mission escalates. The train, it turns out, is a bit more than just a prison transport. It's also carrying a massive shipment of illegal weaponry, including a cache of advanced C4 explosives. Stonebanks, who the team thought was long dead, makes his grand entrance, a ghost from Barney's past. And he's not just a ghost, he's a very alive and very angry arms dealer. Played with chilling calm by Mel Gibson. He's there to reclaim his merchandise and, if possible, eliminate the Expendables. The firefight intensifies. Stonebanks' mercenaries, far more numerous and better equipped than standard prison guards, pour in from both ends of the train. It becomes a close-quarters melee, a brutal symphony of punches, kicks, and the relentless hail of bullets. Doc, with a maniacal grin, dances through the chaos, his knives a blur, expertly parrying incoming attacks and delivering swift, incapacitating blows. Christmas, in a particularly flashy move, leaps from one carriage to another, dispatching a sniper with a perfectly aimed throw. The sound of the knife hitting home distinct even amidst the din. The train itself becomes a weapon. Gunner, positioned on top, lays down suppressing fire, while Toll Road and Caesar fortify their positions, using the cargo as cover. Caesar, with his heavy shotgun, manages to disable a pursuing armored vehicle that was trying to board the train, turning it into a twisted, burning wreck with a series of thunderous blasts. The heat from the flames is almost palpable, even through the screen. Barney eventually confronts Stonebanks directly. Their history hangs heavy in the air, a silent acknowledgement of shared past and bitter betrayal. The fight isn't a clean martial arts duel. It's a messy, desperate brawl, full of grunts, desperate lunges, and the metallic ring of their weapons clashing. Stonebanks, surprisingly agile for his age, manages to gain the upper hand, delivering a brutal blow to Barney that sends him staggering. He then initiates a timed explosive sequence designed to obliterate the entire train and everyone on it. With the clock ticking, the team has to make a snap decision. They manage to secure the C4 explosives Stonebanks was transporting, but the train is set to blow. Doc, ever the one for dramatic exits, helps rig an escape, but it's a tight squeeze. They leap from the train just as it erupts in a massive fireball, a truly spectacular explosion that rattles the ground for miles. It's the kind of explosive spectacle that makes you wonder about the CGI budget. But amidst the chaos, a chilling truth is revealed. Stonebanks escaped. And worse, during the melee, Caesar is critically wounded, caught in the crossfire. Back at home base, the mood is grim. Caesar is rushed to the hospital, his condition dire. The team, usually boisterous and full of dark humor, is quiet, their faces etched with worry. Barney feels the weight of responsibility, the heavy burden of leadership. This isn't just a job anymore. It's deeply personal. Stonebanks isn't just a target. He's a phantom of Barney's past, a betrayal that haunts him. The thought of losing another member, especially Caesar, who's more like family, pushes Barney to a painful conclusion. He visits Caesar in the hospital. The scene is quiet, the stark contrast to the earlier train sequence almost jarring. Caesar, hooked up to machines, can only weakly acknowledge Barney's presence. It's a stark reminder of their mortality, of the cost of their dangerous lifestyle. Looking at his friend, Barney makes a decision, one he knows will hurt, but which he believes is necessary to protect his crew. He disbands the Expendables. Just like that, the old guard, the legends, are out. Their time, he believes, is over. The news hits the others hard. Christmas, typically flippant, shows genuine hurt. Gunner is bewildered, Toll Road confused, and Doc, though new to this particular reunion, understands the gravity of the situation. Barney explains his reasoning, his voice rough with emotion. Stonebanks knows them, knows their weaknesses, and he's too dangerous for them to face head-on. Not when their reflexes are slowing, their bodies aren't as resilient as they once were. It's a bitter pill to swallow for a group of men who define themselves by their ability to kick ass and take names. It's almost like being told your favorite retro console is finally obsolete, and you've got to switch to a next-gen model you don't even understand. Barney, now isolated, grapples with his decision. He knows he can't face Stonebanks alone. but he also can't bring himself to put his old friends in harm's way again. This leads him to a surprising contact. Bonaparte, a former mercenary who now acts as a high-end recruiter, played by Kelsey Grammer with a delightful mix of cynicism and charm. Barney explains his predicament, his need for a new team, a younger team, one that's faster, more technologically adept, and most importantly, unknown to Stonebanks. Bonaparte, a man who clearly enjoys the irony of Barney's situation, agrees to help, seeing the challenge as an opportunity to flex his own considerable network. What follows is a montage. A classic trope, but effectively done here. Showing the recruitment of the new blood, Barney and Bonaparte scour the globe, looking for fresh talent. We meet Smiley, played by Kellen Lutz, a formidable ex-Navy SEAL who moves with a quiet intensity, a sharpshooter who can hit a fly from a mile away. Then there's Luna, played by Ronda Rousey, a fiercely talented bouncer and martial artist who doesn't take crap from anyone. Her training sequence highlights her lightning-fast strikes and powerful kicks, leaving a trail of broken boards and shattered stereotypes in her wake. Thorne, played by Glenn Powell, is introduced as a brilliant hacker and tech expert, a prodigy with a keyboard who can infiltrate any system. And finally, there's the energetic, motor-mouthed Galgo, played by Antonio Banderas, an ex-Spanish Special Forces soldier who's desperate for action and talks a mile a minute, even when no one is listening. His introduction scene is pure comedic gold, as he practically begs Barney for a spot on the team, his enthusiasm overflowing like a busted fire hydrant. The new team, a motley crew of millennials and Gen Z types, is assembled. Their first meeting is a mix of awkward introductions and quiet judgments. Barney, ever the grizzled veteran, lays down the law, explaining the high stakes and the brutal reality of their mission. He emphasizes that this isn't a game. Lives are on the line. The training sequences that follow highlight the clash of generations. While the new team is undoubtedly skilled, they lack the raw, instinctual teamwork and the battle-hardened experience of the old Expendables. Smiley's precision, Luna's ferocity, Thorne's digital prowess, and Galgo's sheer eagerness are impressive, but they haven't faced a real war together. Barney tries to instill in them the importance of working as a unit, that a team is only as strong as its weakest link, a lesson many action movie protagonists seem to learn the hard way. He pushes them hard, physical conditioning, tactical drills, weapons proficiency, all leading up to their first real mission. Their initial assignment is to gather intelligence on Stonebanks in Bucharest, Romania. This is where the old-school grit meets new-school tech head-on. The target is a highly secured building where Stonebanks is rumored to be. The plan relies heavily on Thorne's hacking skills and the team's stealth. They infiltrate the building with a practiced ease that's actually pretty impressive for a first-time team. Thorne is a marvel, gliding through the digital world, disabling security systems with a few deft keystrokes. We hear the subtle click of bypassed locks and the faint hum of machinery powering down. Luna and Smiley use their agility to navigate the complex, their footsteps barely a whisper on the polished floors. Galgo, surprisingly, manages to keep his mouth shut, relying on his formidable combat skills when necessary, dispatching a guard with a swift, silent takedown. The soft thud of the body hitting the ground barely audible, they reach Stonebanks' private office, filled with schematics and various nefarious plans, all pointing to a large-scale arms deal. Thorne swiftly downloads all the data, a digital heist unfolding right before our eyes. It's all going smoothly, almost too smoothly, which, as any seasoned action movie viewer knows, is usually a bad sign. Just as they are about to exfiltrate, Stonebanks appears, seemingly out of nowhere, with his own heavily armed private army. The trap snaps shut. He knew they were coming, or at least, he expected someone to come. A ferocious firefight erupts. The relatively quiet stealth mission explodes into a cacophony of gunfire, shouting, and explosions. The new team, despite their individual skills, are caught off guard. Smiley demonstrates incredible marksmanship, dropping multiple enemies with precise headshots, the sharp crack of his rifle echoing through the corridors. Luna becomes a whirlwind of fists and feet, delivering devastating close-quarters combat, the smack of her hits resonating. Galgo, finally unleashed, yells joyous battle cries as he unleashes a torrent of machine gun fire. Thorne, still trying to cover their digital tracks, frantically works his tablet, ducking and weaving as bullets whiz past. But Stonebanks and his men are too many, too well prepared. The young team, for all their talent, lacks the experience to fight their way out of such a coordinated ambush. They are eventually cornered, their weapons overwhelmed by Stonebanks' superior firepower. Thorne, in a desperate attempt to protect the intel, tries to wipe the data, but he's too late. The new Expendables are captured. It's a gut-wrenching moment, as Barney watches the live feed from a distance, feeling the cold dread of failure and the chilling confirmation of his fears. He put them in harm's way, and now they're paying the price. The bang of a closing cell door is almost audible through the screen. Barney is furious, guilt-ridden, and utterly desperate. He's lost the intel, and worse, he's lost his new team. He knows Stonebanks won't hesitate to eliminate them. Against his better judgment, and certainly against his earlier decree, he reaches out to the one group he knows he can count on, his old crew. He goes back to them, admitting his mistake, his voice heavy with regret. The old Expendables, despite their initial hurt and frustration, don't hesitate. They're family, and family always comes through, especially when it involves rescuing other people from certain doom. It's like when your dad tries to fix something with a YouTube tutorial, messes it up, and then finally calls you, the adult child, to bail him out. But they can't do it alone. The scale of Stonebanks' operation is too vast. Barney pulls out all the stops. He calls upon his contacts. Drummer, played by Harrison Ford, an experienced CIA operative, provides air support and a no-nonsense attitude. Then there's Trench, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Barney's friendly rival, who arrives with a ridiculously oversized gun and his characteristic one-liners. And finally, Ian Young, played by Jet Li, returns to the fold, his martial arts skills still as sharp as ever. The reunion of the old guard is a sight to behold. A collection of action movie legends coming together, their combined charisma practically crackling off the screen. The plan is audacious. Bordering on suicidal, assaults Stonebanks' fortress, a massive, heavily fortified building in the fictional Eastern European nation of Asmenistan, a place that looks like it was designed specifically for a final boss fight. The building is a towering concrete behemoth, bristling with anti-air defenses and ground troops. The old and new teams, along with their allies, converge. Drummer pilots a stealth helicopter, flying low and fast, hugging the terrain to avoid detection. The rhythmic thump-thump of its rotors a steady heartbeat against the rising tension. The infiltration is a symphony of coordinated chaos. The helicopter deploys the teams onto different parts of the building. Christmas, with his incredible agility, rappels down a sheer face, his knives ready. Doc, moving like a phantom, eliminates perimeter guards with silent efficiency, his blade finding vital points with chilling precision. Gunner and Toll Road burst through a lower level, unleashing a barrage of heavy fire. The crump of explosives and the rat-a-tat-tat of machine guns announcing their arrival. Inside, the new team is being held in a multi-level cell block. Stonebanks taunts them, revealing his intention to sell them off to various unsavory clients after torturing them for information. He outlines his grand scheme, a multi-million-dollar arms deal that will destabilize the region, all while casually sipping a drink. His calm demeanor makes him even more terrifying. The rescue attempt for the new team is a frenetic explosion of violence. Barney, leading the charge, crashes through a wall, guns blazing. The old team members systematically clear the building, moving like a well-oiled machine, each knowing the other's moves without a word. Ian Young, a blur of motion, takes down an entire squad of guards with his lightning-fast martial arts, the whack of his strikes echoing through the concrete halls. Trench provides suppressive fire with his massive cannon, the concussive force of each shot shaking the very foundations of the building. The new team, once freed, immediately springs into action, eager to prove their worth. Luna unleashes her fury, taking on multiple opponents, her punches and kicks delivered with brutal efficiency. Smiley uses his long-range accuracy to cover his teammates, picking off enemies who try to flank them. Thorne, now freed from his cell, immediately starts hacking into Stonebanks' network, desperately trying to disable the building's defenses and locate the main target. Galgo, a whirlwind of joyful destruction, laughs maniacally as he sprays bullets, his sheer enthusiasm for combat infectious, even for the jaded veterans. He's like that enthusiastic new colleague who's slightly annoying but surprisingly effective. Stonebanks, realizing his base is under attack, activates his contingency plan. The entire building is rigged with explosives. A countdown begins, displayed on every screen, a stark digital reminder of their impending doom. He intends to blow the entire structure, taking everyone with him, old team, new team, and his own men in a grand, fiery finale. Talk about a scorched earth policy. The battle becomes a race against time. The combined teams fight their way through waves of mercenaries, their combined firepower overwhelming. The sheer scale of the action is mind-boggling. Explosions rock the building, sending debris flying and shaking the camera. Bullets rip through walls, sparking and tearing. It's a symphony of destruction, a relentless barrage of sound and fury. The clatter of falling masonry mixes with the crack of gunfire and the guttural shouts of men. Individual moments stand out. Christmas doing an acrobatic maneuver, sliding under a hail of bullets and emerging to dispatch a group of enemies with his knives. Gunner, despite suffering a minor injury, grins maniacally as he lays down a continuous stream of fire, his heavy machine gun practically a character in itself. Toll Road, using his sheer strength, throws enemies like ragdolls, clearing paths for his teammates. Doc, always with a knife ready, makes precise, deadly strikes. His movements fluid and efficient. Thorne manages to hack into the building's system, trying to disarm the explosives, a frantic race against the digital clock. He's yelling commands, his fingers flying across the keyboard, the rhythmic clack of the keys almost as tense as the gunshots. But Stonebanks, anticipating this, has implemented multiple fail-safes. The building is designed to be a death trap. The teams realize they can't disarm all the bombs in time. The only option is to escape, and quickly. Drummer, still in the helicopter, informs them that he can only hover for a limited time due to heavy anti-air fire. It's a desperate exfiltration, with Stonebanks' men still pouring in, trying to stop their escape. The young team now fights alongside the old, a cohesive unit, their movements mirroring each other, the lines between veteran and rookie blurring under the intense pressure. Smiley and Luna provide cover fire as Thorne and Galgo race towards an escape route. Barney, however, isn't going anywhere until he has Stonebanks. He chases his old foe through the collapsing building, a one-on-one confrontation that feels inevitable. Their fight is personal, brutal, and filled with a raw intensity that cuts through the surrounding chaos. They trade blows, their faces grim, their movements fueled by a lifetime of rivalry and resentment. The metallic clang of a pipe against concrete, the dull thud of a punch, the strained grunt of exertion. Every sound amplifies the desperation of their battle. Stonebanks, ever the cunning villain, manages to trap Barney, revealing one last ace up his sleeve, a sniper position to take out Drummer's helicopter. But before he can deliver the killing blow, Christmas swoops in, having circled back, his timely arrival a testament to the Expendables' loyalty. Christmas and Barney then team up against Stonebanks, a tag-team assault that leaves the antagonist reeling, just as the building is on the verge of total collapse. With massive explosions booming from below, the teams make their final escape. Some rappel down, some leap onto the waiting helicopter, while others, like Galgo, manage to make a spectacular, almost cartoonish jump to safety, his wild cheer echoing over the sounds of destruction. The building implodes behind them in a colossal fireball, a truly epic explosion that dwarfs everything else in the film, sending a mushroom cloud of smoke and debris into the sky. It's the kind of explosion that sets off car alarms in neighboring countries. Probably, Stonebanks, against all odds, survives the initial collapse, only to find himself cornered by Barney. Their final showdown is quick, brutal, and conclusive. Barney gives Stonebanks a choice, a chance to face justice or meet a swift end. Stonebanks, defiant to the last, chooses to go out fighting. Barney, with a grim determination, ends the threat, the crack of the final shot echoing in the sudden silence after the immense explosion. The ghost of his past is finally laid to rest. In the aftermath, the teams gather, a mix of old, young, and allied forces. Drummer lands the helicopter, the heavy thud of its landing gear marking the end of the immediate danger. There are handshakes, shared glances of respect, and a palpable sense of relief. Caesar, thankfully, is recovering and even makes a cameo via a video call, his spirit still strong. The ending sees the two generations of Expendables, the old guard and the new blood, truly integrated. They celebrate, sharing stories and drinks. Barney, having learned his lesson about trying to go it alone, now embraces the new members. He sees their value, their energy, and recognizes that while experience is crucial, new perspectives and skills are also vital for survival in an ever-changing world. It's a poignant moment of passing the torch, even if the torch is a grenade launcher. The Expendables 3 is more than just a series of over-the-top action sequences. It's a powerful reflection on the nature of legacy, the importance of adapting, and the unbreakable bonds of chosen family. It explores the inevitable march of time and the challenges that come with age, both physically and psychologically. Barney struggled to protect his friends by pushing them away, only to realize he needs them more than ever, speaks to a deeper human truth about our interconnectedness. The infusion of new blood isn't just a plot device. It's a thematic exploration of how new energy and ideas can invigorate established traditions, preventing stagnation. The film celebrates the enduring spirit of heroism, reminding us that true strength lies not just in muscle and firepower, but in loyalty, courage, and the willingness to fight for those you care about. It's a testament to the idea that some battles are simply too big to face alone, and that sometimes the only way forward is to trust in both the wisdom of the past and the promise of the future. The Expendables 3 delivers exactly what it promises, an action-packed thrill ride with an all-star cast, bringing together legends of the genre with a new generation of talent. While some purists might debate the PG-13 rating, it still packs a significant punch with its elaborate set pieces and character interactions. It's a fun, chaotic ride that proves the Expendables, in any iteration, still know how to blow things up in style. What was your favorite team-up moment from the film?